What's up? What's happening? What's popping? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another great edition of Symone with the Sports. I'm Symone, bringing you guys the daily sports talk. So if you're new here, if you're old here and you haven't already subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you start what you're doing. Leave a comment, subscribe. Keep rocking with me. Also, make sure you check out the links down below. The first link is to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel that you love so much. The second link is to shop the official Symone with the Sports, a merch collection. Get you the classic tee, the wavy tee, or the flyer dye crew neck that I've been rocking lately. And lastly, turn your notification bells on because the videos are coming like boom, 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 boom. And you do not want to miss a single video or a single live stream. But guys, let's get into the topic today. So I've been talking about this a lot, and it of course is the James Bradberry signing. But we've talked about how great the James Bradberry signing is for our starting core in the secondary, which we know AVONTE MADDOX is going to be locking up the slot. Then we have Darius Slay on the outside, and we have James Bradberry on the other outside corner. But guys, we got to talk about this defense overall. And first, I'm going to talk about why I'm so excited about this defense and how the Eagles could have a top 10 is guaranteed. But honestly, y'all, we could have a top 5 defense. Top five, like Drake said. But then we got to talk about some people that are on the bubble and some training camp battles we're going to now have at cornerback, because adding James Bradberry did do a ripple effect through our cornerback depth chart, so we have to talk about that. But guys, this defense is legit, and I was so turned up about the offense after trading for AJ Brown, but then everything freaking switched. And during the offseason, our biggest signing before the draft was Haason Reddick, which was obviously a defensive piece. Then we went and got Zech Mcphearson on offense. Zech Mcphearson wasn't really splashy. We also signed Kyzir White, a young athletic linebacker from the Chargers, which was another defensive signing. So we had 2 big defensive signings, biggest in Haason Reddick and then Kyzir White, and then we added Zech Mcphearson. But our offseason before the draft was definitely defensive heavy. And then we go to the draft, we make the big splash of AJ Brown after getting Jordan Davis, so it had me all excited about the offense. But y'all, back to defense, and we know defense is what wins championships. Howie Roseman has completely retooled this Eagles defense this offseason, and it has me so freaking excited. So we know that we have every position, yes, every position has been upgraded this offseason, in my opinion, on defense. We know the defensive line, we added Jordan Davis, we added Haason Reddick, who's an outside linebacker, but also an edge rusher as well, a pass rusher as well. So that is huge for us. Then we went and got, like I said, Kyzir White in free agency and NAKOBE Dean to shore up the linebacker group, retool completely the linebacker room. The linebacker room has been subpar average for years now, and now we have a linebacker room to be excited about. We have 2 young, explosive, athletic linebackers in NAKOBE Dean and Kyzir White, and then now we have TJ Edwards, who's now going to be a depth piece for us at linebacker, so that is huge for us as well. Then when we go into the secondary, of course, signing James Bradberry, really big move. Now we have not only Darius Slay, who is somebody who is a do-it-all corner, but he especially thrives in the off-the-ball situations and in zone coverage. Now we add somebody like James Bradberry, who is at his best in press man coverage. So now our guy Jonathan Gannon, he can make adjustments and whatever in the secondary based off what coverage he wants to use. He has the pieces that can be versatile. Now he has a versatile group of cornerbacks, and especially outside cornerbacks that can do multiple things. And then of course AVONTE MADDOX locking down the slot. And of course, I said every position, and yes, that includes safety as well, because we upgraded safety. The fact that we shored up our defensive line, the fact that we shored up the linebacker room, that's going to take so much pressure off of Anthony Harris, and that's going to take so much pressure off Marcus Epps. And 2, AVONTE MADDOX is someone who we might end up seeing play safety a little while when he's not needed in the slot. So that is something to look out for as well. Plus, all of our undrafted free agent rookies, rookie cornerbacks that we signed deals to. So that's Mario Goodrich, that's Josh Blackwell, and that's Josh JOBE as well. All of those guys are defensive backs, but they are projected to be based off their skill set, size, and everything, they're expected to maybe see some time at safety on the NFL level. So those are guys who, even though they're cornerbacks in college, that we can see playing the safety position and moving to the safety position in the NFL. So we address that position as well. But guys, that right there has me super excited for the season. But y'all, it's May and it's really early. Well, it's not really early. It's early. It's kind of early to be talking about training camp battles. But now that the addition of James Bradberry on this team, which is always good, you want guys hungry and battling for spots because that means you're getting the best out of these guys. When guys have spots certain, that's a little less motivation to grind and work hard and get better because, you know, your spot's already there. You're going to ease up a little bit. But when you're fighting for a spot, that's what brings the dog out of you. And a lot of these guys don't have to bring the dog out of them in training camp in this offseason and OTAs and all that, because now with the addition of James Bradberry, those cornerbacks, you know, we have 1 billion young cornerbacks and defensive backs on this team. Now most of them are fighting for roster spots because we're going to keep, around 6? Usually we keep 6 cornerbacks on the 53-man roster, and we already know Darius Slay is a spot, AVONTE MADDOX is a spot, James Bradberry is a slot, and I'm pretty much locking up Zech Mcphearson as a spot because even though Zech Mcphearson hasn't had that much meaningful time, Zech Mcphearson was the projected starter before we got James Bradberry. Darius Slay and the coaches were all talking like Zech Mcphearson was going to be cornerback 2 before we got James Bradberry. So I'm assuming now that Zech does have a spot locked up, and Zech is probably going to be the go-to backup for all of those positions. Backup for Slay, backup for AVONTE, backup for James Bradberry. But after then, guys, we have a lot of guys that's going to be engaging in a battle trying to get those last 2 spots on the 53-man roster. And that includes all 3 of the undrafted free agents that we signed contracts to. Now, we gave Mario Goodrich out of Clemson $217,000 guaranteed on his undrafted free agent contract, and that's a lot of money to give to someone who, I'm not saying he's a lock for the 53-man roster, but they obviously see a lot in him. So that's definitely someone who's, in my opinion, is a top competitor. Then we have Blackwell, who received $137,000 guaranteed, and Josh JOBE out of Duke, who received $135,000 guaranteed. All of those guys are going to be battling for a spot. Then we have Keri Vincent. Keri Vincent is someone who we got late last year in the draft, former 4-year starter at LSU. Did not see that much or if any time for us. So that's 4 now guys competing for the 2 spots. Then, of course, we still have Tay Gowan. We still have JOSIAH Scott. Now, Tay Gowan is who we got in the trade. When we traded Zach Ertz to the Cardinals, we got a pick and a Tay Gowan back. So that's now 5 guys. And then we have JOSIAH Scott. JOSIAH Scott, who we randomly, and I say randomly because we traded for him and then we didn't do anything really with him. Randomly, I don't know if it was mid-season or off-season, a trade with the Jaguars where we just traded a random pick for JOSIAH Scott, a young cornerback. And again, did not see that much play time. So that's 6 guys. Is that 6 or 7? Mario, Josh JOBE, Josh Blackwell is 3. Tay Gowan is 4. Keri Vincent is 5. JOSIAH Scott is 6. McCain is someone who we signed undrafted free agent last season. He saw 11 snaps last season on defense, 33 on special teams. Most of those were late in the season during the garbage time game against the Dallas Cowboys when Dallas was resting all their starters. Now, Mac is someone who they're projected to be on the back end of the training camp battle, but towards the end of last season, after the Dallas Cowboys game, when Nick Sirianni was asked what did he see, because we pretty much played all of our bottom of the depth chart guys, they asked Nick Sirianni, did you see anything positive from those guys? My bad. The game where we rested all our starters and Dallas played all their starters and thought they did some shit. Anyway, Nick Sirianni pointed out Matt McCain on special teams and said that he liked from what he was seeing from Matt. And then also fast forward to about a week ago, before we got James Bradberry, when the media was asking Darius Slay, who are the young corners on this team that's really catching your eye, he did mention Matt McCain amongst like 4 other corners. So that is something to, you know, look into. So there could still be a chance for Matt on this roster, and those are 7 guys, y'all, that's going to be competing for those 2 spots on the 53-man roster. And then even after then, they're going to be competing for those spots on the practice squad. So James Bradberry coming to this team was huge for us, but it also did shake up a lot of stuff, because before James Bradberry, a lot of those guys were going to have an opportunity to step up, rise up, claim a spot, you know, make a name for themselves. But now they're all battling for a roster spot. So that's one of the many positions where it's going to be a roster battle on this team. And of course, like I said, it's only May. A lot of things can change, including injuries, God forbid, but injuries always happen, especially at training camp. But that's just something to keep an eye out on. But needless to say, like I said, Eagles defense, we're going crazy. We're going to talk about some more depth chart, training camp battles. I think the biggest ones are at wide receiver, cornerback, and running back. I think those are, and then a little bit on the defensive line, a little bit at defensive tackle, and a little bit at defensive end. But I think the biggest ones are running back, cornerback, and wide receiver for like those last 1 or 2 spots on the roster. But guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Check out the links down below. Buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel. Shop the official Symone with the Sports, our merch collection. And until I talk to you guys next time, bye.